Hey guys, we're live on the moon. It's early Friday morning, 3:35 a.m., November 9th, 2012. And I didn't know that I was going to get this moon in. I tried to go out earlier and it was pretty clear, but the skies became cloudy about an hour ago. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Pause to reflect. Pause to reflect. A beautiful moon tonight. We've got some interesting things we're going to look at. It's not. I got the color up about 20-30%. You could see some color in there, but it really is a pretty moon. Yeah, there you see quite a bit of color. I hope you guys have been doing well. I've been, fighting the weather off and on, and I decided I was going to come out tonight and just give it a shot. As a matter of fact, let's just zoom in here. We have a pretty good shot at Descartes crater. I do have the 19 millimeter pan optic on, and we're looking at the centered is the is Descartes. And what's interesting is you'll see the atmospherics affecting our image a little bit. The moon is not, it's rising. It's a racing moon. It gets that way at the end of the cycle. And matter of fact, let's just turn the color down. Isn't that beautiful, guys? And let's go over to what I call Crystal Lake, which is pretty much centered. And we're going to have a pretty good shot at Crystal Lake. What I think I'm going to do with this moon is I'm going to put in that Barlow, and we're going to see. Let me see if I can turn the brightness down over here. No, it's just pretty bright on that side. We're going to concentrate on Crystal Lake and Descartes and just see what we can see. And I hope you guys have been doing well. The enemy of the astronomer is the clouds and the wind, and I've had quite a bit of both. But irregardless, we got a pretty good looking moon. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put this thing on pause. This is going to be a high adventure night because we're going to be going exploring along that shadow line and see what we can see and try to do a pretty good survey. I want to mention there's quite a number of you that are trying to do the moon, and I really encourage it. It's a lot of fun. Isn't that a beautiful picture? That is a stunning picture, and I encourage it. Get that low-cost telescope, hook up a camera to it, and just see what you can see. I got a friend, Jeff, that lives in Canada, and he's been doing a real good job experimenting with what he got. I will say one thing. What that little blip there was that's a video driver. By the way, I've decided I did a lot of experimentation on the last couple videos about the C20 versus the C910 versus the C920, and I am using the C910, my old favorite, because it gives me more range of dynamic range. I'll give you an example: brightness all the way up and all the way down. I don't have that on that other camera, and I really think it's critical and important when you're doing the moon to have full control over what you're looking at, so that I can bring you these stunning images. And on the other camera, they came out with some pretty good quality, but we were restricted. I can see another thing we're going to look at. If you saw the movie Celestial, you saw the statue of Reiner Gamma, or whatever it was called. Jose honed in on it. I'm gonna hone in on part of that, and we're gonna just have some fun. So bear with me. I'm putting this thing on. Isn't that beautiful, guys? I've been up since. Well, I've never been to sleep, and I've been just kind of waiting. I wanted to say one thing about the camera. The camera is important, but also, I mean, it's important that you have remote control of this slew, so that you can move your telescope without being out there. I'm inside my house. By the way, my name is Bill Bryson. I am not a professional astronomer in any sense of the word. I just am an amateur astronomer, and I'm trying to do my best to show people the moon. And I am using a $68 webcam and a $1,000 telescope and some expensive lenses. But it's not necessarily the expense of the camera that gets you the images. It's the quality of the telescope and the lenses. And also that I can remotely control the telescope from inside the house here, and also the focus. I can control the focus. Hang with me, guys. I'm going to put that Barlow in. That's a 2.5 Barlow, and we're going to get up close and personal with this moon. Glad you're watching my videos. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this. Okay, guys, we're back. I've got that Barlow in there, and I haven't zoomed in at all, and we're really pretty close. This is called Mare Humorum, the Sea of Moisture. I call it Crystal Lake. And that crater, and I have it centered, exactly centered. That crater to the 930 position on that Mare is called Reiner Gamma crater. And I'm going to just zoom in and see what we can see. I want to say one thing. Every once in a while, you'll see on the left or the right side, it'll kind of get dark, you know, and you say, well, what? It's not dark over there. Is that a problem with the camera? Well, I'll tell you exactly what it's a problem. The camera has, with the way I'm doing the lens, has to be butt up against, flush up against the camera lens. And if it's tilted in any sense, you'll get a little black deal on the side. So I spent a little bit of time kind of getting it to where you didn't get that black edge on the left, bottom left. It was coming on the bottom left of this one, of the last segment. But let's just zoom in and see what we can see. I do have autofocus on. And just to give you a perspective, Gamma crater is 70 kilometers wide. And 70 kilometers wide is 112 miles wide. So let's just zoom in on this particular crater I'll center it. And look at the detail of the mountains to the left of that. You can see quite a bit of detail. And let's just bring this thing in. You see you get so close and then it gets out of, but that is as close as I can get it right now. But what I like to do is I like to bring it back out just about where it, you're seeing the detail and you're not getting the kind of the fuzzies. Let's turn the tracking down just a little bit. And by the way, I'm recording this at 24 to 15 to 24 frames a second. And I'm still using my new computer. I've been keeping myself busy in the interim. Believe it or not, I'm a software person, and I've been getting interested. Let's just kind of work our way along this shadow line. And I've been getting interested in writing a Pascal compiler. Isn't that beautiful? Let me see if I can identify that crater that's coming up. That crater that is centered right now is Inaki crater. Matter of fact, that's very interesting. Look at all the small craters around it. Let's see if I can give you a better idea of how close we are. Inaki crater is 28 kilometers wide, and that is about 32 miles. But look at the mountains to the left and the right. And let's work our way down and turn the color down a little bit, because I want to go, you can see where I'm heading. I'm heading down to where Jose featured this in his movie. And Reiner, matter of fact, let me center it. Reiner Gamma. I've done a segment on my, let's zoom in on that. This is as close as we've ever gotten with any kind of clarity to this particular feature. If you look at my website, www.billbryson.com, you'll see I have an article there called "The Guts of Reiner Gamma," and that thing that looks like a kind of a fish on the celestial, the Clementine pictures, it looks to me like guts. And we're as close as we can possibly get to that. And let's back out. And that's as good as I can get on focus, because again, the moon is lower in the sky. It's rising. This is what I call a racing moon. It's moving really, really fast up into the air. And for me to get more clarity, I'd have to wait another hour, and I don't know that I'm going to even be able to see the moon in another hour. That crater right above the guts of Reiner Gamma is called Reiner Crater, and it is 29 kilometers wide, which is about 48 miles. Okay, that's good enough for that. Let's back out. And let's go back up to the and also you'll note that I'm getting in pretty close to this stuff, but earlier in the month I was actually able to get closer. And let's turn the color up on this a little bit. See, there's just not that much color. I turned it all the way up, all the way down. And there is Aristarchus crater. These are what I call surveys, guys. I get up here and I just look at the moon and see what I can see. And let's zoom in on Aristarchus crater. And you don't see as much color tonight, but you can, well, let's just zoom all the way in. See how it gets, you know, you just lose. But that's pretty good. Let's turn the contrast up a little bit. You can see the what look like rivers, but they're not really rivers. They're just, I think at one time had to be lava or something. The moon is a fascinating place to visit. Anyhow, for you programming enthusiasts, now look at that mountain range there. That's the bottom end of the Jura Mountains, and it's called Mont Jura, and I still have autofocus on, and that's probably as good an image as I can give you on that. I'll turn the color all the way down. But you can see the mountains really clear. Let's zoom in a little bit. That crater that's centered on the screen, the larger one, is called Marion crater. That's probably as good a picture as I've ever gotten of the Jura Mountains. Anyhow, continuing my little tale, I'm working on a Pascal compiler. I implemented a Pascal compiler when I was in college back in 1978, and I've been very interested in replicating what I did before. See how it kind of gets out of focus as we're going up. This is probably going to be the last moon that we can even see. I call it a slither of a moon. As it gets later in the month, in this case early, we kind of get more of a slither, and you don't see much detail. But we can see detail along the shadow. That's an outstanding picture, guys, of the Jura Mountains. I dabble in software for pretty much pure enjoyment, and I don't know if I'll be successful this time around, but I was able to take back in 78, 79. I had a course, a special course in college. I was going to college at the time, and I took an article Byte magazine devoted itself to Pascal one time, and they had a compiler in there, and I actually implemented that compiler on an IMSAI machine, and which was the Altair. Isn't that a beautiful picture, guys? Crystal Lake. And let's see if we can, I doubt if we can, see that rocket. Now look at that thing right there centered. Something sticking up in the air, it looks like. Let's zoom in a little bit on that. I don't know what it is. It looks like it's way up in the air. And then on the slither on this side. Anyhow, I've been interested in replicating what I did in college. And I think I'll do it on the Mac using Xcode with, they have an 8080 assembler and all. I'm a man of many talents and many interests. I do that. Isn't that a beautiful picture? Now pause to reflect. Pause to reflect, guys. I'm giving you some stunning pictures of the moon. The commentary isn't very good, but the also, I wanted to mention, I have a friend that lives in the Netherlands and has been to Indonesia many times, and we're setting up some Skype stuff, and he has a theory that the Mare Imbrium and the Sea of Serenity was a large spaceship. Well, I don't discount anything, and I'll look into it. But he's a very interesting guy. See, I got friends all over the world. And every once in a while, you'll see these guys post stuff on my timeline. I have a friend in India that actually does some fantastic work, astrophotography, in color. And I, every once in a while you'll see somebody post like that on my website. I'm not the only guy that does color. And I still have the detractors, people that are watching Celestial for the first time and they think I fiddle with the color on the camera and all this stuff. Well, I don't. Let's do this. Let's turn the color up just a little bit. And you can see the blues of the sea. Oh, and it looks like the Aristarchus crater is. See, we're getting close. Right there is probably a good picture of Aristarchus in color. I get to see when I move the telescope down towards the rim, it's picking up the blue of the border of the rim, and this camera enunciates it. But there's the true color of well, you gotta find the happy medium. Okay, what I'm going to do is finish this up. I'm going to put that 19 millimeter by itself, and we're going to finish this up. That's an absolutely stunning shot of the moon. Anyhow, two things. I encourage everybody all over the world to get their own telescope and to do things and experiment. And and try to replicate what I'm doing. Now, I want you to look at something. I'm always looking for things. See Aristarchus crater? It's kind of centered. Well, there's a little white dot. That fascinates me. What are we looking at? This white dot that's kind of centered. It seems like a very strange thing. Matter of fact, let me just see if there's anything there. No, I think that's just a crater, but it's just the way the light is. That little dot, see that dot centered exactly? It's white. I'll give you an idea. That is Mons Herodotus. It's 5 kilometers wide, and 5 kilometers wide is 8 miles wide. Okay, I'm just trying to show you what we're looking at and how close I can get with this thing. See that kind of white dot that's kind of centered, off center to the north a little bit. Now it's going down, and that is a crater, and it's 8 miles wide. That'll give you an idea how close I can get with this telescope. I can really get pretty close. Pretty damn close, guys. Not too shabby. Hang with me. I'm going to put the 19 millimeter. It'll get clearer when I do. But I was able to give you some spectacular imagery without tunneling. Hang with me, guys. Okay, back. It's amazing. I got that camera just right, and I don't have any tunneling at all, and I got a spectacular image of the moon. And the moon, although I don't have a moon filter on, you can see it's bright at the very bottom. But if I put a moon filter in, then I wouldn't be able to see the detail on the edge. Isn't that beautiful, guys? And then if I turn the brightness down, you can see, you know. So anyhow, I've been keeping busy with studying compiler technology. I don't know. And see that blue? That's coming from the rim. The rim of the crater has a blue tinge, and we're seeing that reflected in the image. And so consequently, I'm going to turn the color all the way down. And let's head back over to Crystal Lake. That's amazing. I was able to actually see Reiner Gamma that was featured on the Reiner Gamma, which was featured on the movie Celestial. Pretty interesting stuff, guys. Pretty interesting stuff. Jeff in Canada is trying to do this low-cost, low-budget stuff, and he's doing pretty good. You can pick up a motorized telescope for about $150, and then you can pick this video camera that I'm using up for $68 from Amazon, and you won't get as close as I'm getting, but you're going to have a motorized control, and the only thing that you won't have is the focus, remote focus that I have on the telescope, but you do have a focus control on the PC. And right now I have not only a focus control but autofocus. You see how when I move down, see how you can see more detail in the MAR. Isn't that beautiful, guys? And let's end this. Let's end this video on Crystal Lake, which is one of my favorite hangouts, just because. Won't be able to do another moon until about a week or two, but I'll get back at it when I can. Wishing you and yours clear skies, guys.